What would you sacrifice to achieve your dreams? What would you give up for your goals? How dedicated are you to achieve what you want? Would you sacrifice something you love dearly for it? So it might be things like eating chocolate, watching TV, or even your favorite hobby. Would you sacrifice it? Today, we're going to talk about a man who sacrificed his eyesight for his goal. His eyesight, his ability to see the world, he sacrificed it for his goal. So today, we're going to talk about the most venerable Chakkhupala. So to do this, let's go back to the time of the Buddha Gautama. So at this time, there was a husband and wife, a family, and the husband was called Mahaswarna, and Swarna in Pali means gold. And so they lived in Savatthi. They were rich, they had a big house, everything they ever wanted, but one thing: they couldn't have children. This husband really wanted to have children, and so did the wife, but they were unable to. So one day, Mahaswarna decided to bathe in a river. And after he came out and dried himself, he saw a tree. This tree was different from the rest. It wasn't very big, but it was beautiful. And so he thought, you know what? There must be a deity in this tree. So he made a firm determination. He got onto his knees and wished, if there is a deity in this tree, please, can you enter the womb of my wife? There and then, after he made a determination, he got up and started decorating this tree using what he had. He built a fence around this tree. He went home and used his money to buy flags, to buy decoration for the tree, to decorate the tree to the best he possibly can. And what he noticed was, in a few weeks, his wife started to get a bit rounder. Her stomach started to get rounder. You see, there was no cause to be concerned about because he understood she was pregnant. So after 9-10 months, she gave birth to a healthy little boy. And he named him Pala. And after a couple of years, they had another child. And they named him Chulapala. So they had two children. One was called Pala, and the other one was called Chulapala. And because Pala was the older, he was called Mahapala sometimes. So this is the time of the Lord Buddha, right? So the Buddha was there and he was preaching sermons at Jetavanaram. A lot of people attended to these sermons. And Pala's mother and father were also very religious. They also went to the temple. They also made offerings and stuff like that. But Pala and Chulapala weren't so enthusiastic. Instead of going to temple, they would stay at home. You see, back in those days, everyone made a habit in the morning to offer alms to the Buddha and the Mahasangha. Either they would go to the temple to offer, or wait until the monks, the bhikshus, they come round for alms. And usually when they went to temple, they bought flowers, incense sticks, oil lamps. They're clad in white, and they're very calm and peaceful. Mahapala saw this one day and thought, where are they going? And so he asked them, excuse me, sir, madam, where are you going clad in white, carrying these flowers and incense sticks and oil lamps? And they said, son, we're going to the temple. You see, this was something that he saw every single day. But you see, he didn't want to go to temple. He wasn't someone who was very fond of the temple. And so he didn't go. There could have been many reasons, but he didn't go to the temple. Soon, he became older and older. See, the age difference between Mahapala and Chulapala was so great that once Mahapala became older, it was almost like father and son. And soon, the brothers, mother and father, both passed away. And soon it was both of them left. So Chulapala only had Mahapala, and Mahapala only had Chulapala as family. Now, one day, Mahapala woke up, and as Yuzhuo saw all these people go to the temple. And he thought, okay, you know what? I want to go to the temple. I want to see what all this is about. Why do they go every single morning for the past 2, 3, 4, 5 years? And so he decided he wanted to go. And obviously, when he went to the monastery, the Buddha was there. So Mahapala was able to accrue a lot of merits by giving alms. He even was precepted the 5 precepts, and he decided to protect them. So on the same day, he gave alms. He observed the 5 precepts, and soon as it came to the evening, he decided to listen to the Dharma. And who is preaching the Dharma? The perfect one, the unvanquished one, the sublime, the supreme Buddha. And by the end of the sermon, Mahapala's head was aching. He was spinning around in circles. By the end of the sermon, he understood, you know what? When I die, I'm not going to take anything with me. I have learned this much. I have this much money. My parents have given me all their assets before they passed away. Their land, their houses, the servants, the animals, the farms, the land, everything. But I'm not going to take anything of that with me. They didn't, and so won't I. And that's one thing he realized. You know, where is the finish line? So today, I work for a goal. I want to become richer, or I want to get this, I want to get that. But where is the finish line? Where does it all end? Where can I finally wash my hands and say, that's it, I'm done, thank you very much? Where can he rest in peace finally? When? He understood, you know what? No matter where I go, no matter what I do, there is no finish line. There is no end to this. He understood, then I have to find the end. I want to find the end, a finish line, something that I can achieve, and that'll be the end of it. And then he understood, you know what? Me living how I am, I'm just going to go to the inevitable end. I'm just going to die, having achieved nothing. There is no use of me living like this. There's no use of me living a lay life. I want to ordain. So he goes to the Buddha and worships him and requests, please, Venerable Sir, I would like to ordain. The Buddha then asked, Sir, do you have permission? As you remember from the story of Venerable Rahula, the Buddha requests for permission before ordaining. And Mahapala said, no. Who do I need to get permission from? You can get permission from your parents, but if they're not there, maybe someone who cares for you. Mahapala then remembered, my brother, my younger brother, Chulapala. So he ran all the way home. Now, just imagine, right? Mahapala was the older brother, and Chulapala saw Mahapala running home. What do you think Chulapala was feeling? And so Mahapala went to Chulapala and asked, my younger brother, you know, take all of my money, take all of our heritage, everything that we've inherited, take it all. Take all the land, take all the paddy fields, take the cows, the elephant, all the houses that we own. I don't want any of it. Now Chulapala was confused. You could almost imagine, he even said, brother, are you okay? Why don't you want any of this? Finally, Mahapala said, Chulapala, take it all. I don't want any of it. Just give me the permission to ordain. Now, Chulapala saw his brother as not just a brother, but as a best friend, as a father. And so Chulapala was almost heartbroken and said, please, Mahapala, please, don't leave me. You're the only family I have. You can stay here with me. And although you may think a lay life is terrible, but you can stay here and do merits and you'll be able to attain Nibbana by doing that. Please. Mahapala, after hearing his brother, you can almost imagine Chulapala was even crying. That's how much he loved his brother. Now Mahapala, seeing all that, said, my dear Chulapala, I can't stay. Today, I was fortunate enough to listen to the Dharma. I was able to hear the teaching, the doctrine of the Buddha. I saw that lay life is useless. And I'm growing old. Look at me. I am not my young self anymore. You see, brother, you're young. You've got youth. You've got years ahead of you, but I don't. Please let me ordain. I can't stay here any longer. Chakkhupala, his heart was broken. He started to cry. Tears started to fall out of his eyes. But what could he do? It was his brother that's asking him. He wanted his brother to be happy. He would do anything to see him smile. He would give anything. And so Chakkhupala finally gave permission. Okay, Mahapala, my brother, I give you permission. Please, do what you must to be happy. Mahapala was ecstatic. He decided that he wanted to ordain as fast as possible. He went back to the monastery and asked to ordain. And the very next day, he ordained and then asked his preceptor, what should he do? You see, he was very enthusiastic. The moment he ordained, he went to his preceptor, he went to his teacher and asked, what should I do? Now, his preceptor said, you see, you can either study the Dharma or you can practice the path. It's your choice. Now, Mahapala left his lay life because he wanted to achieve his goal, to find the finish line. And Mahapala was extremely intelligent. I can study the Dharma. Even though I'm old, I can still study the Dharma. But when it comes to practicing my path, I won't be able to. After I pass away, that's the end. So he asked his teacher, Venerable Sir, I have decided to practice my path. Venerable Sir, please give me a meditation object. Please give me something to contemplate on. And there, he went to the Buddha. He went to the Supreme One, the one who can read his mind and tell him exactly what he needed. By that time, Mahapala was Sotapan. He had become a stream enterer. And so he went to the Buddha and asked something to contemplate on so he can become an Arhat. So the Buddha preached and gave him one. And Mahapala worshipped the Buddha. And from that moment onwards, he started to contemplate. He decided he must do this as fast as he possibly can. He was determined to achieve his goal. So he decided to go into isolation, to not be disturbed by anyone. He went into the forest. So he went into a rural town, so there's less distractions, but he was determined, and he practiced his path. But at that time, it was the rainy season, and as all monks do, he had to go to the rain retreat. You see, the people of the town had seen Venerable Mahapala go round for alms and requested him to stay for the rain retreat, that they'll give him everything he needs, but just stay in the residence that he currently is in. They'll give him everything he needs. So Mahapala accepted it. And so he decided he was going to stay in the town, in a residence, in a chamber that was made for him. And a doctor from the town came to Mahapala and said, Venerable Sir, in this rain retreat, if you have any illness, if you have anything, any problem with your health, tell me, and I'll treat you. And the Venerable Pala, accepted his wish. And soon the rainy season approached, and Mahapala went into the town for the rainy season. You see, he was very determined to achieve his path, to achieve his goal. So, he thought, he made the goal. In this rainy season, I'm going to try my level best Not just my level best. I'm going to pass that level. I'm going to attain my liberation as soon as possible. And he thought, you know what? In this rainy season, I'm going to only be in the 3 postures: standing and sitting and walking. I will not lay my back onto anything. Which means he was not going to lay his back on a wall. He's not going to lay his back on the bed. Therefore, he wasn't able to sleep. After a couple of weeks, he had a small eye disease. His eyes started to water. He couldn't control it. But that didn't stop him. He continued and continued. He didn't lay his back onto anything. He tried his very hardest not to fall asleep. And when he was asleep sitting down, which meant he only slept the amount that his body required. No more. Now, the people in the town slowly saw that when the Venerable Mahapala was meditating, tears were falling out of his eyes. There has to be something wrong. And so they sent the doctor to Mahapala. And so the doctor asked the Venerable Mahapala, Venerable Sir, there seems to be something wrong. What is it? And the Venerable Sir said, Doctor, I think there's something wrong with my eyes. And so the doctor checked and saw, yes, there is something wrong with his eyes. He has a small illness. But it's curable. And he gave an ointment, a small oil, to put 1 drop into his nose and inhale. And so he gives this oil and comes the next day and asked, Venerable Sir, is it any better? No. Now, this doctor was confused. Wait, this medicine should have worked. Why isn't it working? Venerable Sir, did you put this medicine yesterday? Did you apply the medicine yesterday? Yes. Now the doctor was extremely confused. Why isn't the medicine working? It should work. And after a couple of questions, he came to the question, Venerable Sir, did you put the medicine while you were sitting or lying down? And he gave no answer. He didn't say a word. Venerable Sir, did you apply the medicine while you were sitting or lying down? Again, no answer. Venerable Sir, I have healed others who have the same illness as you. Why isn't it working? Venerable Sir, do you apply the medicine while sitting or lying down? Again, no answer. The doctor realized then he must have done it while he was sitting. He was specifically asked to lie down to apply this medicine. But he wasn't. He didn't do it. And so the doctor said, Venerable Sir, please don't do it again. Just think about your eyes. Just lie down just for 2-3 days and apply the medicine. That's it. And your eyes will become better. But in Mahapala's head, in the Venerable Mahapala's head, he's thinking, you know what? I don't care about this body. This body is proof that I'm still in samsara. This body is prone to illness. This body is prone to disease, prone to illnesses. Why should I care about my eyes? And this body, I have to meditate. I have to get out of samsara, and then I don't need eyes. I don't need a body. I'll be free. I can finally find this finish line and achieve my finish line. Because right now he can see his finish line. He knows his way to the finish line. Just like when you drive or when you walk back home, when you can see home, when you can see your house, your home, you feel so happy. Like that, he can see the finish line. But he had one obstacle, his eyes. Was he, at this moment, he was fighting inside. Was he willing to sacrifice his goal, his finish line, for his eyes? So just like before, he applied the medicine while sitting down. The doctor asked, is it better? Venerable Sir, is it better now? This time, He doesn't give a reply. Venerable Sir, is your illness better now? Again, no reply. Venerable Sir, look, I am one of the best doctors in this town. I can cure almost any illness. Venerable Sir, is it better? No answer. Fine. Then, if anyone asks you, who gave you medicine, just don't say my name. Don't say my name. That was a request that the doctor did. And Mahapala humbly accepts. Now the question is, what happens to Mahapala? Does his eyesight get better? Or does it get worse? Does he attain his liberation? Or not? Or do both happen? Why does this all happen to him? What had he done? And the answer to all those questions will be next week. But I'd like the imaginative ones to write a comment on what do you think happened to Mahapala. What do you think will happen? And also, for all those artists and young artists out there, you can draw Mahapala, the Venerable Mahapala, and send it to us via the email, and it should be in the description below. And we'll try to include your picture in next week's story, the continuation of the Venerable Chakkhupala. So what do you guys think happened to the Venerable Mahapala? We'll find out next week. May the Venerable Chakkhupala be with you all forever.